Conversations with the Pumzana, the girl next door. We are back again. It's a new year, it's a new season. Yes, for some of us it's been a new year for the longest time, months away, but we are not about that calendar, the south and the north, but we are just here. Welcome to everybody to a new season. So I have my guest, I have my friend who's not a stranger to conversation. You've seen her possibly in some of my videos and her own videos. This is Nono Lekhanya from the Power in
My Story.
I love it. Because you know why I love the power in? Because it's easy to say in your story.
Yes.
And it is my story. And I love that emphasis. Welcome back, girl.
Thank you. So good to be back.
I tell you, after so many conversations on the phone, so many where we're like, we should have been recording this.
You know, I always say you and I have so many pre-conversation to the conversations.
And then we leave each other like, wow.
Yes, I like it when we hype each other. Yes, that's a word.
Like,
did I just say that?
You know, did we just talk about that? I wish the world could know such things. This is what we go through.
Yes.
But anyway, we are here and then we listen to each other to say we will try and have these conversations here. Not scripted, just us having a conversation, but we will have a theme.
Yeah.
Because we talk about a whole lot of health issues. So this is our first series. So for the first series, we thought we should start talking about health issues, but more on a
medical-ish, but generalizing and just bringing it home,
but closer to where now it's almost everyday chronic illnesses, be it this one or that one, but just when somebody is chronically ill. So that's what we're going to talk about. We'll see where this conversation takes us, because we have families, we have friends who go through that. So, but because I have Nono here who's like on the health side of life, you know, so with your profession, it's easy for us to have these conversations, because you have this. You are a doctor in your own right, if I may say so. In your own right, you are a doctor. But chronic illnesses, so kitloba in a way where I'm gonna ask, like, but there's no dumb question. But what is chronic illness in general? When somebody says I have a chronic illness, what is that?
I will also be talking from a general perspective.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's when you know that for the rest of your life, this illness is going to be your body. You will walk with it on a daily basis. You will have medication for it up until, that's what the doctors will tell you, this is a lifetime thing. So that's my understanding. And
in most cases, it's diagnosed.
It's diagnosed in most cases.
Yeah.
So you don't just go around saying, hey, I have this, and it's chronic. It's chronic.
Like I have eczema, you know, it is chronic.
It's chronic.
But eczema.
Wow. Yeah, so you don't just walk around and say, I have a chronic what. You have to be diagnosed first. They obviously have to be like blood tests and whatever else that they do. Yeah, I think from my knowledge, having walking a certain path with a certain chronic illness, that's my understanding.
How does those illnesses affect one's day-to-day life?
Sure.
I know that we talk a lot about your high blood pressures, your diabetes and all that, all those general, but we talk about the illness itself, but not the day-to-day to say, now you have this particular condition. How do they normally affect? I know it affects people differently, but in general, day-to-day, how does one, when somebody's living with a certain condition that needs medical attention or every day, how does it affect them?
I think from my own perspective or my personal journey, there's a lot.
Okay.
from my own one, I was diagnosed with hypoactive thyroid.
Hypoactive thyroid.
And a lot of people, actually, most of the people, when you say I have thyroid, they think you're saying fibroids.
Oh,
so I have friends.
And in my head, when you say hypo, I'm like, okay, hyperactive. Okay,
yes.
Okay. And then thyroids, I'm like, in my head, I just go here, but I wouldn't even tell you there's this, and then there's mums, and there's so okay, you go.
So yes, there is hyper and there's hypo.
Okay.
So it depends. For me, it started off as hyper, where everything just goes. Your metabolism is faster, your heartbeat is faster, everything is faster. You become hyper. And they had to take it down to hypo, because when it's faster, you run the risk of heart attack, or there's many other things that can go wrong. So with hypo, it's more of, you know, the lower side, the lower feel of things, where now everything really slows down, like extremely slowing down of everything in your body. How your metabolism, so when we grow, we always know that our metabolism rate slows down, but when you now have hypoactive thyroid, it becomes worse.
Is it?
Yes.
When were you diagnosed?
Tiredness, I was diagnosed in 2019.
Oh, okay. So it's been a while. Okay.
And so thyroid is that butterfly-like gland that sits on your throat. I don't know where, but it's somewhere.
you are here. Mina, I went there. But anyway,
it's okay. We are all learning. We are here to learn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So it sits on your throat.
Okay.
It's a butterfly-like. It looks like a butterfly. What it does, it slows down everything.
Sure.
So your thyroid is one of those glands that gives your body a whole lot of things. It's one of the glands that gives your body energy, faster metabolism, mostly energy. And for me, I think it affected my energy. I'm no longer that spontaneous, because you don't call me tonight and say, are we going out? My husband always struggles with me. I always need to be mentally prepared, because I don't just go like that.
Sure.
I could have a date with you tomorrow and be this excited person the day before. And then in the morning I'm like,
I can't.
Can we?
So when it slows down, it like pulls you down. How do you feel when it's really slows you down?
So you are tired, you have this brain fog. Most of people that have thyroid will tell you about brain fog. It kind of feels like this fog in your brain. Really, like the meaning. It feels like that. You feel like I just can't. When you say you are tired, your tiredness is not the same as a normal person's tiredness. Yours is like you just want to sleep. That's it. You just want to snuggle up and not do anything, not even talk, not even. So you have to, I think, as we go, I will explain how I managed to.
But so on the day-to-day, the issues is one. Today you are you know that everybody knows, and then you are excited about life, about everything else. The next day or the other week, you just don't want anything. So in your day-to-day, now that you know that you are diagnosed and your family, how are you then managing what you know now?
Okay, so I've joined some groups for me to just, hear about other people's stories, how they managed, and I've done that a lot. Right at the beginning, I sought help from doctors. I wanted to understand what this is and how I can help myself without medication. Also,
there's medication for it?
Yes, on a daily basis.
Sure.
So you wake up in the morning, the first thing you take is, I take L-toxin. I know the name differs per country. So I know in South Africa most of us use L-Troxin. You have to have it on an empty stomach. So I'm not those people who wake up and go straight to making coffee.
Yeah,
I have to have this first. An hour later, then I can start eating or drinking anything. So the worst part of this...
So it's 1 pill a day, sorry.
1 pill a day.
Okay. So there's also that it's the thing that on a day-to-day you need to remember this. That's part of your life. You need to remember to take the pill.
I think the worst that can also happen when you have hypoactive thyroid is your memory. You lose your memory a lot. Not completely, but you're forgetful.
Sure.
Very forgetful. Something can happen and you might not even remember the whole story. Some of the things you remember bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst, because I think you saw me earlier and I had to write down.
Oh yes,
things
making
to buy.
Making a note. I thought it's like age, girl.
No. I'm still very young.
We do our lists. Sexy lists.
I'm still very, very young. Thank you. I do not care who says what.
I love it.
I'm still very, very young.
So you need to then get into that system whereby write things down and all that, because it does that to your brain. Sure.
So that's what I don't know about other people. For me, it taught me to work and know how to maneuver around my illness, because you still have to live.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to live. So if I really have to do something that is so important, I will not cancel. I will, even if I don't feel my best, I will still go, because I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
Being here, I understand why I'm here, to somewhat have this conversation and make sure that people get this type of conversation and maybe talk more in their homes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know about it, maybe because it's undetectable at one go. So you don't just go to a doctor and they say, you have thyroid or anything. No. Some people will have thyroid from a very young age,
but they
will not be aware up until, so they will only pick it up when you are in your 30s or your 40s, but it started when you were 16 maybe.
Sure.
So with me, that was the case. It started long ago, but I've always been diagnosed with fatigue.
Okay.
Because I was just constantly tired.
Yeah.
And later on, I think it got to the stage where now it was.
Did you at any point think maybe you are depressed, or you had some different illness, you didn't even know this particular condition?
Yes. I was actually diagnosed with depression at some point.
Yeah.
But you deep down in your soul, you know that no, that's not the case, guys. I know I have things, but I know, but I haven't reached there that stage. No, I am very certain I'm not there yet. I remember, and I called my doctor and I said, I did take the pills for diagnosis for the depression. Then I said I stopped because I don't think I have depression. And I don't think he was very happy with me, but I stopped. Because I believed in my heart of hearts that I do not have this type of, I'm not there yet. I could be depressed there and there, but not.
And from you know better because you are also within the field, so you can easily pick up, unlike other people who don't even work with other people with mental illnesses. So that's why you could be able to say, nah, this I know.
And and that was even before. I mean, I hadn't even gotten into the field that I'm in.
But
now.
No,
I felt it in my soul that I'm not there yet. I'm too resilient. I'm too.
So tell me, and then now you are diagnosed, as we're talking in general about chronic illnesses, how do then maybe, other than maneuvering, family, friends, and all that, so what would be the things that you think helped you as you are figuring out, or what you've learned with other people, the other Facebook groups with other people talking about the same thing? I don't know that you have this condition and we are friends and I keep on calling you, let's do this, and sometimes you're like, hey, Nono umudi. How do we then help each other to have proper conversations and support?
Sure, it's not easy, I will say. Even with family, they didn't understand. It took a while. It took me talking a lot about it and explaining. Some of the times I would even send, in families we have a family group, so it will be different family groups. So I would send stuff, just smaller notes to say, this is what is going on with me. Or I would send maybe somebody talking about it and I thought, this person is so clear. I would send that to the family just so they have an understanding. And you know what's that?
Not only for you, but just also just teaching.
I was also learning in the process of giving them information. I was also learning. And this is what I don't understand with my family. From my side of the family, both my moms, remember I have two sets of parents, so both my moms have it.
Is it?
They have it, but we didn't know because they are from that generation that never speaks about illnesses. Even now,
there's not, I don't want to say normal, there's general chronic illnesses that in our Black community or African community that we only know it's high blood, is this, sugar, those are the only things that we know. Even menopause, I know it's there, but we don't talk about such deeply, like from this age, those are the sugar
and we all have,
and diabetes. That's the only two things.
And we never just sit down and say, hey, you were admitted. What was that all about? As families, I don't think we take time to say, we know Pumzile has what and what, but do we ever ask her what goes on with you? So that we don't find ourselves overstepping. How does it feel? What happens? Like when you wake up in the morning, what happens? What are your thoughts? So I don't know, I would hope that most people with hypothyroid or hyper can jump into this conversation and let's have more discussions about this, because for me, I felt very alone. Very, very alone. I thought this is my illness, something to deal. Even having to have my husband understand it, it took a lot. But although he was supportive, but he was supportive not knowing exactly what is going on. So sometimes I remember there was
like, where's the pain?
They want to see something. They want to see that ear being chipped off, or I don't know, your skin must do something. Do something,
because you're still you. It happens.
You know that saying, we don't look like our problems. I am one person who will never look like a problem. You will not know. I promise you, you will not know. Because I will be looking somehow.
So that's why then it affects you mentally then, because then you go through.
Exactly. So you are there and you want to tell someone that, guys, I don't want to go. And sometimes it's family outing. You have to compromise yourself, I remember there was one day where I couldn't. We were literally all of us. We have a big family. All 159 of us were leaving the house, and I remember just standing there. And my husband asked, "What's happening?" And I was like, "Guys, you can go. I'm sorry. I tried, but I can hear that I'm not gonna be of good company. Can I go back to sleep?" And I think then he started really realizing that this thing is not, she's not playing.
Because I was about to ask about the misconception, because somebody, as I was talking about the moods, and then Gogunye, they'll say, lazy, because you don't want to clean, you don't want to do this and all that, because really physically you're not up to it. So what are other maybe misconceptions that you've read about or heard about when somebody has a chronic illness? No excuse.
What are listen, people who are going to jump in who have thyroid are all going to say the misconception is us being lazy. And listen, when we do that 1 day or 2 days, when we get the energy, listen, we are the most energetic people you will find.
And stuff.
Yes, and we will do all sorts of things. And we do that because it's not normal. So we get excited. And only to find that after
you feel like yourself.
Yes, you're like, yo, this is what I want. Oh wow, I love this. Next thing, 2 days later, you're like, boom, boom, boom. It's all gone. And when it's gone, it's gone.
True.
So when I always post things that speaks about me being late or me being not wanting to pupil, I mean it. Like, it's really what I go through. I can't pupil because I went to an event and I used up all my energy, because there you have to mentally speak to yourself. So I always have to mentally speak to Nono and say, we are doing this, girl.
Yes,
Got this. Let's go. You know how important this is. I think for me, I'm so blessed with knowing that everything I do is intentional.
Oh, yes.
It's purposeful. Yeah. So I honestly, when I speak to myself, the universe works with me.
Yeah,
it works with me. It gives me that energy because it understands that, hey, she likes these things.
Yeah,
she likes talking.
Yeah. So
the universe will come and back me up.
That,
yes, I'm truly blessed with that.
So with like it's 2025. Okay, I didn't want to say a year, but hey, it's 2025. Most people 2024 were in a very bad emotional state, and possibly some people didn't maybe know if they have any other conditions outside of, every year has a, I don't want to say spiritual, but it has a feel. Every year has its own feel. Coming from COVID and all that, I think there was that up where everybody's going back to normal and all that, and then we reached the normal, and there was like, I think 2023 there was a rush into getting back into the world, and then 2024 there was like a big slump. Now we enter in 2025, and I feel with few people that I've spoken about, where are we with chronic illnesses and mental health? Where are we as society in understanding that things don't feel the same as they used to, where every other day we are upbeat, every other day we are happier generation, whether you are working or you are unemployed, whether your kids are doing well or not doing well. Because I think it's also the sicknesses and also the feel where life has become so heavy. In your own perspective, because I remember when we were talking, where you were like, girl, can we talk about these sicknesses that we are going around with? If it's not mental illness, it's this chronic illnesses, it's just these heavy stuff and emotions that we carry every day. Where do we think we are?
I would say, for me, I think this should be a year. I think we are where we are now realizing what we've done post 2020, post COVID. I think we are somewhat, a lot of people are becoming to awareness of my mental health is important. And I love that. I'm seeing a lot of people doing that, but I sense that we are mainly focused on mental wellness here, but we are not thinking about the biological, the physiological. We are not thinking of that, and I'm glad you are raising that, because when we are there, it's so important and so key that we also check. Let's check what was the fatigue about, where exactly did I take that. You could probably be going through the whole thyroid and you are not without knowing. So I think where we are now, it's good. We are taking things slow. We are now appreciating the whole idea of, I don't need to go by the societal clock. I don't need to. I can just be me and do what suits me at a time that suits me. While you are in that, I would say let's also check the physiological side of things. Where are you? Go do your blood tests. Check exactly where you are, and insist on write it. Maybe if you do, we all know our bodies.
Yeah.
You know what's happening. Write these things down before you go to. I always do that when I go to my doctor. I always write things down and say,
okay.
Because I will feel like, even with the thyroid, I feel like, are we really targeting?
So you would
the
write
source?
things down,
Yes.
as in how you feel,
How I feel
mentally, physically.
Yes, and what I wish for him to help me with.
Okay.
Because sometimes we just get there and we say, doctor, I have this headache, but what do you want to do?
Okay.
It's your body.
Yeah.
Just speak to him, pick his mind or her mind, and say, I've read about this. How can we explore that? Is that even healthy for me?
Yeah.
And I do that a lot.
Yeah.
With us, this whole
like, sorry to disturb you, because in my head, like, as we're talking about thyroid, okay, I didn't really know about thyroid before until I spoke to you about it. I know sometimes, like, I have a mental block, like a huge mental block that I don't know where it comes from, and I always self-diagnose. Self-diagnose, like, I would like, okay, what problem do I have now? Oh, okay, my daughter this, my son this, my marriage, or the work. I then diagnose to say, oh, maybe I'm feeling down, or I'm tired, I'm mental because of, it's because I'm stressed at work.
Yeah.
And then I don't then think of going to the doctor because I've already self-diagnosed. It could be this. So you're saying it's important to write down what you feel and what you would want a doctor to explore with you.
Yes.
That's so new to me.
Yes. Have that relationship with your doctor. You know your doctor, the one that you trust the most. I don't know if trust is a good word, but the one that you...
When you say trust, guys, I don't know what I'm going to say. For the first time, I got, you see now, mental block. What did I have? Piles.
Okay.
Piles.
We don't talk about that as well.
Yes. So I woke up and it's so there, you know. So when you say the doctor that I trust, I had to trust the doctor because, like, God, for me to do that, like, let me see. I was like, what? Yeah, so trust your doctor.
Yeah,
have that relationship.
You have that one that you know. Yeah, I have one. He's very good.
I think when we talk about other illnesses, piles, because that thing was so. I'm gonna write it down as one of those topics
we have to have. Because we don't even know whether we have them or not. That's the other.
Where they come from and why and all that. Yeah, whether it's this, but we're not talking about that today because that was hectic. So yeah, you were talking about the relationship with the doctor, and then the other question is work life. Maybe when we come back, let's talk about how these chronic illnesses affect individuals in the working environment and how can we deal with it in the working environment when we come back. We are back. We are still talking about chronic illnesses or illness, which can just make your life miserable if actually you don't check it out, you don't get to know how your condition and your life, you know, how you can work around the two so that you are still able to be you and do the things that you love. So I'm still sharing Kinalino and I'm still with my lady. So the last part I was asking, now we know at home, family, you get to be you and they get to see it at some point whereby you can and you can't. They see your up and down and all that. So I wanted us to get to the workspace. These are not your friends. You are there to get the dime, you know, and there's performance appraisal, there's everything else. There's a lot at stake. Yes, others can resign and go and all that, but there you are. That's like, this is your bread and butter. Now you are here, you have this condition and you feel the way you feel. How do you then navigate? Yes, I know some of the things maybe could be the same at home, but now you have other people that owe you nothing.
Yeah.
How do you then navigate that space?
Can I be raw with this one? I think we do have companies that are really trying, like they are putting all systems, making all systems work for their employees. But I do believe some are just ticking boxes.
Yeah.
I think we know the type of environments we work in, and I think it requires a lot out of you. If you know that the company doesn't support mental wellness, because it dwells down to that. If you are physiologically ill, you have a condition, you have this chronic condition, it dwells down to your mental.
Yeah.
Because if I'm tired, it means my productivity, my deadlines, everything goes down. It's for me. I would love to say this, and I'm going to say it, but it doesn't mean that all companies are like that.
Yeah.
We always give the advice that talk to your HR, tell them exactly what's happening to you, or talk to your manager, tell your manager what's happening. But it's not always that these people are willing. They also have people above them. They also need to reach certain targets. And you coming and saying that, it means you are more of the weakest link, and that doesn't sit well.
Sure.
This is where the importance of knowing yourself and knowing how to work with yourself, because at the end of the day, this body that carries you, the mind that you use for your targets, your work, the onus is still on you.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure that
you're the owner.
Yes, this is where I always say, if you're not taking care of the mind that is the first space where everything is taken care of, whether it's your physical, biological, whatever, everything starts there. If you can work on that, and that's why I'm so big on CBT, working with the mind. I think this is where somehow, if you know you still want to be a part of that company, somehow you must learn to work with your mind. You need to have a relationship with your mind, so that you know how to speak to yourself, that every day, yes, it's going to be hard, but I have 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure that I deliver.
Yeah.
This is where the whole idea of seeking therapy comes into play. Whether you seek therapy inside the workplace or outside, that's entirely up to you. You know your environment. If you know your environment, you will, work or navigate better. Yes, you'll navigate better.
Sure.
If you have to seek assistance outside of work, seek it. Do it for you. I think at the end of the day, you also have responsibilities to take care of. So you need to actually just work around what's important at this point in my life.
You're not losing that job.
You're not losing the job.
You're doing the best you can and all that. Sure.
And unfortunately, that might not work for everyone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for me, it didn't work.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I think my body just shut down and just decided, you know what, we are not doing this anymore. And that was also because of my background. I've been working since I was 20 and never stopped anywhere, so I think my body was really having it hard. So when I was admitted at a hospital, when I found out, I literally had to tell them to give my space to someone else, because I didn't feel like I wanted to go back. And I was very honest, because I felt this is now about me. But I did that, and I don't want to act like everybody has the same situation. I had the support.
Yeah.
So the financial support was there. I had the family support. I had all the things that I would need if I needed
fall
to
somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, if I needed to leave.
To make that decision. So the decision was like very safe.
Yes.
To say, okay, for this particular time I could still be safe.
Yes.
And be taken care of. So some wouldn't have. So
when you cannot have that, you don't have that type of support, seek therapy, because there you will find a safe space to offload. Sometimes what we put in here, in what's in the mind, affects the body. But if you offload, you help the body as well. And I think for me, I also went, I sought help in the ways of doing things natural.
Okay.
What are the things that I can start taking to give myself energy or whatever? So I think if you don't have the support, seek therapy, so that you know how you can always offload. That helps with that helps the body. For someone who knows, I have the support. If you feel this is it, you can, just
do something different.
Excuse yourself, maybe for a year or so. If you still want to go back to the corporate space, that's still fine. But at least then, by the time you go back, you already have like knowledge of how to deal with this. So this, I think for me, it became easier. I must be honest, it became easier maybe because of the support that I had. Although the support, like I said, family still didn't understand what I was talking about. So I think in the workspace, that's how I would put it. And I want to be as honest as possible and raw as possible, because we shy away from speaking the truth. Guys, there are companies that are target driven, and they are not about people falling ill. And
you are not Nono there. You are just a number. You are here to do what you need to do. And unfortunately, if you can't ship out, we need to find somebody else. Like that tough conversation, I think, somewhere, I think, where, when you tell your manager how you're feeling and all that, when you hear the hardest truth to say, dude, if you can't do this and all that, you only have two options. Leave, or if you stay, unfortunately, try to be here and still do your best. And it was the hardest thing to hear. Hardest thing to hear, because at some point you feel like you want somebody to like feel sorry for you, or not like a good like or special treatment of some sort and all that. But sometimes if that comes, it helps, but those kind of things. But the truth of the matter, you are saying you need to deal with you, because not everybody will be able to be there for you the way you want them to be there. Worse in the corporate space, because it's a company, and that's not your father's
your mother's house.
It's not your father's house.
The most important thing, honestly, the most important thing, go back to you first and say, what is it that I feel should work for me at this time in my life? And looking back, I'm so grateful that I left. I am so grateful I left, because after that, I don't think I would have had time to just figure my passion, my purpose. I would not have. I know that for a fact. So sometimes maybe some illnesses or some things, they make us leave.
Purpose aligned.
Purpose
aligned.
Also check that. Let's just be real about our ways. Our cultural ways or traditional ways. I don't know whether it's a cultural or but your spiritual well-being. Yes, not culture, not traditional. Let's remove that. Spiritual well-being. You know yourself, and learn yourself, because we never get,
and then you'll know your limits to things.
Yes, in corporate space, honestly, I was about work. I never took time for what do I want. I never. And in the literal form, I don't think I'm saying it in a deeper form enough right now, but I went to work because I had responsibilities. It was actually never even about the idea of me growing in a certain way or learning or what. It was never. It was that I am what we laugh about lately. I was the breadwinner. I had to take care of a whole lot of people. So for me, it was so important to just be there.
Be there.
I had to be there. But when the time came and I realized I am afforded the opportunity to just look at what the needs that I have, I allowed myself. So looking back, I don't regret. I had the most wonderful time. I worked for Sasol. I had the best time there. Yes, I loved the people I worked with. I loved the company. I still love it now.
Yeah.
So it was never even about the people. It was about me.
About you.
Finally, it came to what is it that you think you should do now. So look at that.
Yeah.
So the just to simplify it, make sure you dig deeper into you.
Self. Yeah.
You what if it doesn't work in this way? Try. There's always another. And seek advice, man. Like speak to people that you know would help. We shy away from seeking help.
Yeah.
Not help in the therapy form. No, just help.
Everything, yeah.
You know the thing we do. The thing we do, the thing we allow ourselves to have like that particular 5 minutes and we talk about what we are going through. That is help. And from that, you go back and you say, "Hi, what she said is true. How do I then apply it in my life?"
Like into
yes,
sure. That safety net, that security that you have. You must always have people around you who are your safety net, so that whenever you need just to bounce off something, you have that. Before closing, I know we have Ghost who has a question. So before we go to Ghost, we're gonna have a series of these conversations and more about not necessarily about only chronic illnesses, but if we tackle the illness, but we are more tackling outside of the illness, the day to day. Like I know we want to talk about your menopause, we want to talk about other people who are still living with HIV and AIDS. And I think the not big taboo as well, you know, with women and sicknesses, I think it's more open. Males as well, like your high blood and all that. I shared a bit of story with my dad, you know, when he had condition high blood. And for me, I think this, I don't know whether maybe other men do talk about it. So those are other conversations that I want us to have. But in closing, what are the things that you feel like we need to try and make these conversations normal on day to day when there's, be it illnesses or hard things like finances and all that, whereby like with your partner and speak about it, like so that it's easy, not like all the conversations are heavy or you need to second guess if this is not happening. Is it me? Is it him? Is it my friend? Is it, you know, like I can tell you a funny story. There's this friend of mine. I love her
I'm
to
already
bits.
laughing.
I love her to bits. But we kept on missing each other in terms of us meeting and getting to see each other or meet each other. And then there were times whereby I'll check on her and the responses were so cold and all that. I started questioning myself. Am I a bad friend? Did I miss the important things? And I was scared, not scared to ask, but it became a thing in my head that maybe this friendship is gone and it's done. And I was ready to let it go. I'm like, I've asked, you know, like, Ushap. And then they're like, okay, no, yeah, you are the problem. But it's like, oh, okay, if I'm the problem, but I didn't probe to find out what did I do.
Yeah.
And now I went to defense to say, if it's me, I then be that friend who will be able to come and tell me on Tinne. Be that friend, like, but I was ready to say, if they're not saying anything, I'm letting it go. Yeah. You know, those kind of conversations, like, where you then second guess your being with other people. So in closing, what are these conversations that we want to have, like, every now and again?
Two things. What can go wrong if you just be?
Yeah.
Secondly, I hope my train of thought doesn't go, because I know these two. Let's not deprive ourselves from knowledge and growth.
Okay.
And I believe this will be the second, I don't know, then there's going to be a build up to it. We have certain perceptions when it comes to sicknesses.
Yeah.
My take is, I don't even want to say how we do it. We all know what we do.
Yeah.
In black communities, hey, onale diabetes, oh ntate, hey mosadi utlo safara again. We have these
windows that
but we are depriving ourselves from growing with regards to knowing about illnesses. When you are stuck in a perception, you are not allowing yourself to grow, to know more, and know how to help. We need to start being a community of help now. We've done the whole perception. It's not working.
Yeah.
Guys, it's not working. Let's try something else.
Yeah.
And now that we are getting into understanding the awareness of mental wellness, let's put these on as well. What are those things? The conditioning, the societal conditioning, let's remove that a bit. Can we get into a new way of thinking about illnesses? And let's
I'll feel like a 50
oh my goodness, you, like I said, now I'm like, oh my goodness, my age is not funny now anymore. Where I'm going, because you worried about what are people going to say. You know, people are going to attach things on you.
Based on
it's possibly when she's doing that. Hot flashes.
But that's all I know.
That's all. And we stay there.
Yeah.
My thing is, let's not stay on
those
social conditioning. Let's move now. We've done that. It was funny, yeah. Let's start something else.
Yeah.
Let's now start being a supportive union and community. Let's not rob ourselves, guys.
Yeah.
There's more to certain things. Like I was saying earlier, that we think menopause starts at 40,
35, 40, yeah.
35, 40, 50. But there's, I was listening to some podcast, and this lady spoke about the fact that she started way earlier when she was 13. So let's allow ourselves to be educated again, and really, learn illnesses for what they are. Not what we think, or those things, those connotations that have been put on the names. Let's move from that.
Yeah.
It would really help, because we are not doing it only for our families, but we are also doing it for ourselves. We are doing it. It will be a replica effect when one starts in the house.
Yeah.
No, because some of these things, they are the reasons for suicide. They are the reasons for people isolating themselves from families, because I'm not understood. So you end up being that person who decides, what, it's fine.
Yeah,
so I don't attend a family meeting or a family gathering of event. And because that morning I woke up and I wasn't feeling well, and now I'm judged, they will say whatever that time they are not even going to the whole idea or knowledge of that, the fact that Nono has this. It's possible. Nono never misses the events. But,
today.
Yes, or I'm sure Osale or whatever, those things. Let's be compassionate. Let's go back to being human. I preach about being human, guys. Before you wear a hat of a mother, a father, uncle, your professional hat, start with the human, because that there lies the compassion, the love, the genuine compassion and love.
That comes with nothing.
Yes, and allow people around you to just come into your space, knowing that they will receive the love and the compassion. Let's allow that. And I shouldn't be afraid to tell you that, I know I had promised, so now I have to lie and we have to.
I know the feeling.
Yes.
So that you don't have to lie about how you feel, or you just say it as it is.
Yes.
I thought I could make it, but I'm actually not feeling well and I'm not up to it, and I'd rather be at home and have a grow that space of people whereby as soon as I say that, it will be received as is.
Yes.
Not as, even if it's not about illnesses, even if it's about finances, to say they're not checking out, and not going to be other excuses, but just what it is.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much for this girl talk.
Yes, always.
Thank you for this girl talk, and then we're gonna do the question and then we'll wrap it up. But I just want to wrap it up for this before we do the question that we're gonna talk about when we're young. So it seems like a new edition in the conversation where we're gonna have those questions with the guest. I really appreciate your openness, and I really appreciate you always saying, I have this conversation in my head, and if I speak to you about it and I feel like after there was empowerment on my side, and I felt like there was empowerment on your side, how many more people, I'm not going to say women because it's so easy to have a circle of women because then it becomes us as, but how many more people would really benefit in having these general conversations where we are not experts, but we are just part of life. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. And I think we'll try and make sure the comment section and all that, guys, any topic, we will call it's a girl talk. We want to take it everywhere, but we're going to just focus so that we are healthy here, we are healthy in our hearts, we are healthy in our spirits. So this is why we're bringing these conversations. Thank you.
Thank you for always having me and having these fruitful conversations. I don't know if you hear it enough. We thank you for opening this space for us. I don't think you understand what you are doing. You spoke earlier, and I caught that. Somebody came here and said, I'm going to open my own podcast. And it's how you are when you say these things. It's like you are just saying, pick up that toilet paper from the floor. You say these things like they are simple, but you don't know. I don't think you understand the effect, the impact you bring into people's lives. So thank you. I want to say this, and I hope that you digest it, right, and dream about it. But yes, you bring so much awareness into people's lives, and I'm so grateful. I know for myself now I'm speaking for myself, not talking about you guys. No, you'll speak for yourselves. So I'm speaking for myself. It's the way we are when we meet, and so much just comes out, man. It's the impact you have. Do you understand? I know, I don't think you do. It's the impact you carry. It's your aura that makes people feel so free, man. Like they will tell it all. Well, some of the things we won't tell on them, but you have that effect, and I wanna wish you more. I pray that more of this is going to go out there and go international. I wish you light. I wish you abundance of knowledge, continued laughter. I don't think you take it in. So I wish that you look at this segment and really take it in. May God bless everything that you do. You already have it. You don't need to seek it anywhere. You got it, and we thank you for giving it to us so freely, so lovingly.
Amen.
You give yourself so nicely, man.
Thank you.
So, what would you tell your 21-year-old version of yourself now at this point in your life, knowing what you've been through, Question number 2, when you were 21, in the place or space you were in, what did you need to hear? What support did you need to receive? What are some things you need to hear by people guiding you in life that maybe would have made a difference in your life or shaped your life differently? Yeah.
Okay.
Over to you first.
Woohoo! I said I'm gonna start with the second one. What I would have loved to hear when I was 21. I think I would have loved to hear there's still more ahead of you. You don't need to rush into anything, because I think then I sort of rushed into wrong decisions, and I wish I knew that they were actually not even wrong. I was just learning. I think it would have made it would have put some ease in me in just knowing that I'm on this earth to learn, not just be perfect. Because me wanting to be perfect led to me being a perfectionist in everything, and that comes with mental instability. And what I would say to my 21-year-old, I would say, girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Despite anything you were thrown into, listen, you still got it. You went. I would tell this girl that there is so much ahead of you. You are also going to be proud of yourself. Yeah.
Sweet. Sure. To my 21-year-old self, I would want to tell that little girl that she's beautiful. She's amazing. She's very smart. And not just smart, but she has so much going for her, and she must never doubt herself, even when those people around her who would say things and they think she thought they mattered more because they came from them, they were not true. Everything that she has heard from those people, they were not true. The truth is, you are still beautiful, you are loved, and you are intelligent, and you're gonna definitely make a whole lot of people proud in the future. So yeah, big up to you for staying cool to this day. And I think to the second question, what I would have loved to hear or know or be given at that age, or to be told, I think mainly to say mistakes are okay. There's nothing wrong with making any mistake, big or small. And that, I think Nono, you were saying, don't rush. There is really no hurry in the world for many decisions or wanting to attain a whole lot now. Being here on earth is not a tick box. The fact that I would have loved them to tell me, the fact that we are here, you are here for a reason and a purpose. And that purpose will just unfold irrespective of any choices, any mistakes, or even any other good thing that you have done. It will still not matter. What will matter is you do you and be great. And between the age of 21 and 25, I think I would have also liked to know or be given so many chances to say, you are still young, you're still fine. Between 21 and 25, you don't have to worry about anything. Do what you can with what you have at that time. So that's it. Conversations with the Phumzela, the girl next door. That was a wrap.